So yesterday I made a bit of a mistake. Of course, I live out of a van. I've been living out of a van for over 5 years. And when I go to park at night, I park on a street much like this. A residential area, apartment complexes, but the most important thing is free, legal parking. That's what I look for. That's my thing. I've been doing this for years. But last night, I made kind of a critical error. I forgot to lock my door, and I encountered a would-be thief. So this was yesterday. It was about 3 in the morning, and I was sort of awake, sort of not awake, if you know what I mean. And I heard something. At least I thought I heard something. And so I laid still and I tried to think, what is that? Is that somebody outside my van? And the next thing I knew, I heard what sounded like my front door opening. And then, as I'm thinking to myself, well, that can't be right. How can my front door be opening? Of course, I locked my door, didn't I? But obviously, I didn't. And right about that time is when the guy tried to open my side door. So the crazy thing here is that I have my bed on the passenger side of my van. That means that my bed sits on the sidewalk side of the street. So I guess the guy was trying to be stealthy, so he was walking up the sidewalk and just checking all the car doors to see if they were unlocked, and lo and behold, he got to my van and my front door was unlocked. That made him try to open this side door. But of course, we both got a surprise because I was laying right there. Now, because I'm a little tight on space here in this small minivan, I utilize this door as kind of storage. So a friend of mine gave me this cargo netting. I have it kind of just hung up here to kind of collect things. And I know it looks a mess, but it's highly, highly useful just to have this as some storage area. I can hang up some stuff and gain a little space back that I don't have anywhere else. Now that makes this door not impossible to open, but very difficult to open from the outside. So when our would-be thief tried to open this door, he of course found some resistance. And so he got the door open about a couple of inches. And this is the point where I'm sure he got a look at me. And also he got a bit of an earful, because this is the point where I yelled. And yes, I yelled a couple of words that I can't exactly say here, but I think were appropriate in that certain period of time. Now, luckily for me, this was a thief that was most likely just looking for something that he could grab quickly and run. And so he didn't want anything to do with having a confrontation with somebody. I'm sure we were both surprised at that point in time to see each other. But like I said, lucky for me, he didn't try and cause any more trouble. He just took off and ran. Now, this is a really odd thing, because most of the time, I am fanatical about locking my doors. Now, after I got the van closed up and checked to see that everything was okay on the outside, I did something else that was kind of silly. I got in the van and drove about a mile away and parked in a different area. I don't know why I did that. I was perfectly fine where I was, of course, as long as my door was locked. I'm sure that fellow wasn't going to come back around again that night anyway. Now, the following day, after this is all said and done, this has brought up many questions for me. Now, where I was parked last night is a place I've been parking for years. It's a very upscale neighborhood. It's a very quiet neighborhood. I've never had a problem parking there. But of course, this is the first time I've forgot to lock my door in that neighborhood. So it got me thinking, I wonder if that guy was living in the neighborhood. Does he live there, and does he just check parked cars at night because he knows it's quiet at that time of night? And so that's why he just goes out of his house and walks down the street and just looks for something easy to steal? Or is this guy just some thief that picked this neighborhood because it's upscale and it's quiet? And does he do it all the time? Was this his first time there? These are kind of interesting questions, of course, that I probably won't know the answer to. Now, I don't really have any qualms about parking in that area again. Obviously, I do need to keep my doors locked. I mean, it's pretty silly to forget to lock your door. Maybe I'm a bit complacent because I've been parking in this spot for years and years. But maybe also it has something to do with it's a pretty safe neighborhood. It's a pretty friendly neighborhood. I walk that neighborhood quite a lot. Usually when I park, no matter where I park, I normally will park and then walk around the neighborhood. And in that neighborhood, people are very friendly. People like to say hi to you. They like to wish you a pleasant evening. So this is one of my favorite places to park here in San Diego. And like I said, it doesn't make me nervous about parking there again. I think the most important lesson is, at least for me, is just to remember to simply lock my door.